Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is part two, or as they say in France, part deux, of the Janet Jackson documentary recap. If you missed our very first recap of the part one of the Janet Jackson documentary, be sure to check that out. I'll post the link after the live in the description of this video. But for other information, like where you can follow me on social media, other ways for you to support the channel, all of that information is available in the description of this video. For those that are watching on TikTok, head on over to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Also, you can watch us on the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We are also live on Twitter. What's going on Twitter? The Kempire on Twitter. Be sure to follow me there. Road to 10,000 followers there. Let's get those followers up. And be sure to follow me on Twitch. What's going on Twitch? I see you guys there. We're building a community there as well. Shout out to everyone already in the chat. I posted a poll earlier today, and it seems like we're very split on what we want to talk most about. We're going to talk all about it, but we're also going to have you guys have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts about the part two of the documentary, the Janet Jackson documentary, to be more specific. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Share the video on your social media because it matters. Let's get the word out about what we're doing, and let's get some more Janet fans in the room. Because if anything, this documentary, I didn't think I could love Janet Jackson anymore, but to understand that she has been through it is an understatement. Understatement. We're going to talk all about it and more. But let's get the vibes going. You know how we like to do it here on the Sunday. Look, the Sunday. We like to move our bodies. Can't legally play Janet, so we're going to play another female artist, True Genesis, with Back and Forth.
This up like you always do. You want me back, but I'm through with you. You say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? And I know nothing's changed, still the same. I'm so tired and I'm tired of this back and forth. Now you're in my head and in my bed, telling me it's over 'cause I'm not enough. You need more than my love as I watch you walk away. But tomorrow you'll say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? And I know nothing's changed, still the same. I'm so tired and I'm tired of this back and forth. Back and forth. Same old thing. I know you won't change, but tomorrow you'll say, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to. You still love me, tell me, girl, can we work this out? But I know nothing's changed, still the same. I'm so tired and I'm tired of this back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth.
Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, we vibe out. We vibe out. We support up-and-coming artists. That, of course, was True Genesis with Back and Forth. I just like the vibe of that song. I love the vibe of that song. This is our recap of the second part of the Janet Jackson documentary, where it addressed a lot of different topics. Of course, the Super Bowl. People are reacting to Janet Jackson telling us to be easy on Justin Timberlake, and people on social media were kindly saying and gently saying to Janet, we will not. We will not. But we will talk about that because there are people that you should be more upset with than Justin Timberlake. And there have been a lot of articles, but I think a lot of people still don't know that this situation with the Super Bowl was a lot bigger than Justin Timberlake. It had more to do with the people and products that you support and those executives that turned their back on Janet Jackson after the Super Bowl. Justice for Janet to be able to redo her as an artist, as someone that's a creative, the fact that she was able to do the Super Bowl, but not able to do it to the level that she really wanted to do it. Because I don't believe Janet did that on purpose. That wardrobe malfunction was not on purpose. I've never believed that. But there are a lot of people that do or want to believe that because, they like to see, first of all, Janet fail. They like to see a Black woman fail. Can we talk? Can we talk? Exactly, Amy says. Les Moonves, who was the executive at CBS at the time, who has been since let go because of harassment claims. What's her name that hosts the Celebrity Big Brother and Big Brother? Julie Chen, who eventually left the talk to avoid talking about her husband's transgressions. See, I don't report on everything, y'all, but I pay attention. I know pop culture news. I know pop culture history. He wanted to ruin Janet, reportedly, Les Moonves. We will get into it. There's a lot to talk about, and you will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts and history and love and the big moments from this documentary that you enjoyed and the things that you thought should have been in there. One of the things that I wanted to know was her relationship with her baby's father. I can't think of his name. Unimportant because they didn't even mention his name. Issa, we didn't get to see Issa, but we've already seen pictures of Issa, her son. I've already gotten to the end, but I'm sure there's a legal reason why she did not mention her ex-husband, her third. Yes, Wasim. Is that how you pronounce it? Probably. I wonder if in her divorce, because there were a lot of rumors about how much money Janet got from that divorce. I hope that the rumors are true, that she got a lot of money. And if part of that money was that she was not able to talk about him, girl, be quiet. Be quiet. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Okay. Hold on. Oh, Asata, thank you so much for the super chat. I just posted a quick video on Instagram talk and on TikTok where I'm talking about Nick Cannon and this new baby. But thank you so much for letting me know. I love when you guys let me know just in case I might miss something. And I know maybe on the algorithm, my video did not come up for you guys, but I did post about that. A quick video talking about Nick Cannon. Lord. Thank you, Asata. Life with Leah. So take the money and hush. I'm just saying. She's got a cute baby. There's no reason. There are bigger fish to fry in this documentary than her relationship and why that divorce ended. Look, and I can wait for a part 3. Janet is still, 51, 52 years old? She's still got a life to live. Sidebar. The internet was really going after Jermaine Dupri for cheating on Janet. That was the rumor on the street. So I always assumed that it was true. According to Jermaine Dupri, he said, when I got with Janet, everybody was like, whoa, I want to be what you do. All the ladies were after him. What is wrong with you ladies? Not you ladies, but you know what I'm saying. So he cheated, but she says that wasn't really it. They seem to have a really good relationship. And look, I think he was also young. Remember, this was a long time ago. Oh, she's 55. What? Look, it's a pandemic. I lost track of time. I lost track of time. Either way, she's in her 50s. She's still got a full life to live. Why y'all say 55 like it's about to be over? T-Tub says Usher's confessions was about JD. Look, JD was young and popping, and they made it seem like he was. I feel like JD's been around for such a long time, but they made it seem as if he was on the come up during his relationship with Janet. I mean, he had already some major hits at that point. But okay, everyone has a spin. Janet's been around a lot longer than he has. All right. But to find out that the relationship really didn't cheat. They both laughed about it. Yes, he cheated, but I don't think that was the real reason why they broke up. Because some people can look past, okay, you cheated, let's move past that. But she said his work, he was so focused on his work. And remember, she's been working her entire life. So she's like, she's ready to enjoy her life. She looked like she was ready to, she said they were engaged. They still refer to him though as her fiance. Were they telling us something without telling us something? It just said Janet's fiance. It didn't say ex-fiance. Or was that just a typo? Fired. You're fired. Could you get that wrong? Now you got people speculating. But they seem like they still had, she was still laughing and giggling about him. You think there's hope for JD and Janet? Do we want hope for JD and Janet? She said he was the only one without an addiction because, you know, she dated married a couple of people with addictions. But I told y'all rumor on the street. All right, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Exactly, so Janet loves to giggle. Me too. Some of y'all say my giggle's too sinister. There we go. Can we just talk about Regina King? Because, you know, Regina King and Janet did the movie Poetic Justice together. But I didn't expect Regina. Well, shout out to Regina King. She just lost her son. Shout out to her. She was throwing Janet under the bus. She said when Janet and Tupac kissed on Poetic Justice, everybody felt the chemistry in the room. And it wouldn't shock me that Renee, who was still there, felt the chemistry in the room. But by that time, I think the lines had blurred about their relationship and their business relationship. I was shocked to find out that Renee literally, first of all, we found out he had a pill problem, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly, but they didn't say allegedly in the documentary, but I'm going to say allegedly because I don't have that liability insurance that they got. I'm just saying. So she says that he had a pill problem. As you know, they divorced. That divorce got a little contentious because he felt like, you know, he was so involved in her career and didn't receive the credit and apparently the money that he felt that he deserved. Eventually, that was figured out. But I was shocked. There were a lot of little shocking moments in this documentary where Janet says that at one point, their relationship became him always saying, you know, you can't go out looking like that. And I kind of understand that being a manager, and when you're a manager of an artist, you're not just a business person. You're their friend, you're their father sometimes, or their mother. But they had that personal relationship, the person that's supposed to really uplift you. And he wasn't even her manager. He was like a creative director for her. But he was like, oh, you can't go out looking like that. And she's like, she dealt with it because based on what Tina Landon was saying, they had far better times for a very long time before things started to get a little sour. I wasn't sad to see Renee go, though. I wasn't sad to see him go. I wonder we didn't hear from him after, you know, everything was settled. Everything sort of kind of settled. One of the things they didn't mention, though, was the big shocker when it was revealed that she was married. We didn't know that they were married. They kind of said that but it was like a shock to all of us. We're like, Janet Jackson was married to Renee for 10 years. She kept that a secret for 10 years. 10 years. Oh, yes. Tila was reminding us he sued for $10 million. I don't know what the resolution of that was. I'm sure she paid him something because we can't deny, especially this documentary is proof alone. But I think that's why they're able to tell the story now. He was very involved. Renee was very involved. Would I give him credit for making Janet Jackson? Hell no. How dare you? No, but I think he was instrumental. I still love that Again video. Did he write those lyrics? Maybe he came in with a line or two. That does not write a song or sing a song, no matter what you want to say about Janet's voice. I heard from a friend today. I love that song. I love the video too. Shout out to Renee. Look, shout out to Renee. I told you we appreciated what Renee did in regards to having this footage that we would never see before. But damn you for making her feel insecure. Damn you. Asata, thank you so much for the super chat. Asata says, what's your favorite classic Janet song? Okay, again, it's up there. It's not my favorite. It's up there, though. What is my favorite Janet Jackson song? That's like asking to pick one of your favorite children. Of course I have one. I'm joking. I don't know. There's so many. And I don't know if you guys noticed at the end of this documentary of part 2, we got a snippet of her new song that's coming out. So for those of you, I know someone asked this question. I started. Ebony says, I would love new music by Janet, but I get it. She wants to focus on being a mom. No, you're getting new music and you're probably going to get an actual tour. Remember, she was supposed to do a tour last year, but, you know, pandemic. So we are definitely going to get one. Jessica says, Kempire, you're doing the most right now. It's because I loved the documentary. I love the documentary. Yes, the Rolling Stone cover was amazing, and I can't believe that even today some people don't know that those hands were Renee's, and it was very, you know, it was Janet's coming out moment, that album, that cover, and she really, you know, it was a beautiful cover. I think people were just so shocked because, again, it's her breasts, so people are still like, oh my gosh. But it was art. We never seen anything like that. It was real art. And I really, really, really love that cover. And mind you, I don't love breasts. So for me, I could appreciate it. I'm like, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Danny, I love that song too. There's so many songs that you guys are mentioning that I love. So many songs. Together Again is one of my favorites. Just the feel of that song, what it means, why she wrote that song. All right, I've digressed a lot. So Poetic Justice. So as you know, Poetic Justice, Janet was signed with A&M with Rhythm Nation, but that was like her last album with them. And one of the things I didn't like that they said in the documentary was that the head of Virgin saw acquiring Janet was like acquiring a piece of art. And I was like, I get it. They're trying to give it this level of prestige, but we kind of look at we're not a product, especially as a Black person. We are not a product. We are a living human being that deserves respect. So when you equate us to something that's not living, it's a little offensive. But I get it. This is back in the 90s. Nowadays, it's like, huh? Okay. So, of course, if you don't know your music history, I love my music history. Janet's deal with Virgin was the biggest at the time for female and male artists. The biggest, which was amazing because her older brother was Michael Jackson. This was also around the time we didn't know, because when we were watching it together on my TikTok last night, right, TikTok? When we were watching it together, I was like, there was a Janet Jackson and Coca-Cola collaboration? I didn't know that. Asata says, mine is Rhythm Nation. And when I think of I love both of those songs. I love both of those songs. So I didn't know that there was this Coca-Cola collaboration. And the reason why I didn't know was because it never happened. Because that was around the time that there were the Michael Jackson accusations. I'm not going to go back and forth with you guys on whether or not you believe the accusations. Look, he's dead and gone. So all that debate at this point is just like, you can debate. That's it. That's all we can do. But Janet, in this documentary, reveals to us that she was punished by association. That was her brother. But despite that, she says she never believed the accusations. She knows her brother. She never believed the accusations. And she really tried to be there for her brother. So much so, that's when we got the Scream collaboration. We did not expect what we got from this segment of the documentary. When she talked about the creation of the song. And again, we have to give respect to René. He caught the footage of them writing this song, their one and only collaboration. He got the footage of them writing it in that hotel room in New York City. What a time to be alive. Michael giving her advice on how he wants her to sound in it. Then we got the footage of Michael Jackson in the studio recording it. I said, oh my, I got chills listening to Michael just give this, because some people like to sleep on Michael Jackson and his vocal ability. First of all, check his receipts all the way back since he was like, what, 5 years old? Michael has been able to sing for years. Just because he decided to give you a little bit more edge or a little bit more rock doesn't take away from his ability. If you saw This Is It, then you saw, wow, Michael knows what he's doing. Michael is a genius. No matter how you feel about Michael, Michael is and was a genius. Seeing Michael in the studio, seeing Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who have produced for all kinds of celebrities, but Michael Jackson comes in there and immediately turns on in the studio. They're like, what? They were geeking out. I would have geeked out too, because sometimes I think to myself, what it would have been like to be in the studio with someone like Whitney Houston singing some of her incredible songs. And you're like, I can only imagine. I go back to that. When I interviewed Claude Kelly, who's written a few songs for Whitney Houston, I sit in my mind, I'm like, what was it like to hear Whitney in the studio? Michael in the studio. We got that footage. Thank René Elizondo. Thank him. Got to give him credit. That's it, René. That's all you get. That's all you're getting. But you know who else we have to give credit? Joe Jackson. We talked a little bit about this yesterday when we recapped part 1 of the Janet Jackson documentary. But Janet has found a new appreciation for her father, because her father is the one that really pushed her to get into music. Her father is the one that gave her the work ethic, gave all of them the work ethic. When Rebe said when Joe Jackson died, that really affected the family. That really moved the family in a way more than probably, she didn't say this, but I'm going to say this, probably more than Michael. Remember, he was the patriarch of this family. He's the one who took them from Gary, Indiana, and made them all superstars. Someone called in yesterday, let's not sleep on the other Jacksons. Yes, we love Michael and Janet, but all of them superstars. All of them. I have to say, the documentary made me appreciate Joe Jackson a little bit more. But as you know, the story that we, grew up watching, that the American Dream, the Jackson family, American Dream on VH1, really made him seem to be a terrible person. But I think that's Hollywood. That's, oh, he's a black man. And I know some people are uncomfortable when I say that, but can we talk? If you're just joining us, this is the recap of part 2 of the Janet Jackson documentary, aka Janet Jackson Appreciation Month, aka Janet Jackson Appreciation Week, aka the Super Bowl needs to give her another opportunity. Coca-Cola should be on her line right now. I want to see Janet be able to do the Super Bowl to completion and feel great at the end of it. When we heard about what happened at the end, that Rebe says that her daughters saw Janet run off the stage and she was crying, that's not the way to end the Super Bowl. That is such a monumental moment for an artist. Janet deserves another opportunity, and Coca-Cola should sponsor it, even though I think Pepsi sponsors the Super Bowl. Well, somebody needs to give it to her, because Janet lost a lot. I know a lot of us don't really pay attention to those things, but Janet lost a lot after the Super Bowl because people thought she did it for attention. Yes, Janet rose above all of that. She's done multiple things since then, big sold out tours since then, but doesn't mean that she did not lose a lot for many years because of Les Moonves' obsession with ruining her. Why would he be obsessed with ruining Janet Jackson? Does he hate women that much? Or is it just black women? April, thank you so much for the super chat. So Jermaine Dupri looks and acts like Dennis McKinnon, right? I didn't. As soon as you said it, I said, thank you so much for the super chat. Anuli, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciated this doc because it was refreshing to hear a Black woman's story that was so relatable, but not full of abuse and sorrow. Wow, good point. Very good point. Just saying. Okay. So Janet in the middle of the documentary, and you can tell it was a recent video. First of all, why couldn't they turn it around? Or at least do what y'all see me do it in my videos where you can kind of blur the sides. We get a little quick minute video. First of all, we find out Randy has been receiving notifications from Justin's team that they want Janet to be a part of his Super Bowl performance. And we all were like, I think, is that when Janet Jackson Appreciation Day started? I can't remember. Either way, she says that her and Justin have remained friends since then. She's the one who told him not to say anything. And all of you said, I don't care. He still should have said something. Use your privilege for something. So in between this conversation about the Super Bowl, Janet has this quick little video saying it's time to move on. She said she just spoke to Justin the other day, and all of you, especially Black Twitter, said we don't care. Justin Timberlake, we don't see it for you forever, especially for what you did to Janet and what you did to Britney Spears. Just saying. Black Twitter said, not today, Janet. We love you, but not today. We will do what we want to do. Just say. Ebony says, forever. Yes, use your privilege. So I don't think people will forever leave Justin Timberlake alone when it comes to this. But what I do want to see, Janet, when they do give you the opportunity to do the Super Bowl again, no, do not bring Justin out. Please don't bring Justin out. Please don't bring Justin out. Bring out Ciara, though. I love the new friendship that they have. I love this new friendship that Ciara and Janet have. I would love to see them dance together. Bring all the Black performers out. Bring out Missy. We want to see that. We don't want to see Justin Timberlake. Just saying. Don't forget, the Super Bowl is coming up in a couple of weeks. Again, AKA Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. Janet Jackson has a new song. A little bit of a snippet of the song was at the end of the documentary. Also at the end of the documentary, they dedicate it to, of course, Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson. They also say that the proceeds from the documentary are going to the Boys and Girls Club of Gary, Indiana. Just those little things that you guys maybe did not pay attention to. Just say. I've digressed and I went all over the place. All over the place. So much has happened in Janet's career, but as I said to you before, I have a whole new respect for her. I've always had a major respect for her, but to see this documentary, to see what she has gone through and overcome to be where she is today, a mom who says she's proud. She said, if you don't love what she's doing now as a performer, well, it's because I'm too busy being a mom. I'm not able to rehearse as much. But so many of you that went to go see her on the Unbreakable tour said, no, she did not miss a step. She did not miss a step. April, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, sorry, Janet, but we choose violence. Come on, April. Look, Black Twitter is going to do what they want to do, Janet. I can appreciate because she's a Taurus, and that's something a Taurus would do. We're loyal. And if they are really friends in real life, she's going to look out for her friend. But we can respectfully say no. Sorry, Janet. We love you, though. We love you, though. So Janet, caused all kinds of waves when she announced that she had to delay her tour because she was pregnant with Issa. And she openly talked about all the methods that she did in order to get pregnant. It was not easy. She was 50 years old when she got pregnant. She went to Italy. She went here and there just to a shot here and there just to get pregnant. Again, we didn't get any conversation about her ex-husband. But again, that might be an NDA. I'm okay with it because rumor on the street, she got a lot of money at that divorce. That was the rumor on the street. I don't know if I believe the rumor, but if it is true and that's why she's keeping quiet, stay quiet. Stay quiet. It's all right. As long as you were happy, you were able to get your baby out of that whole situation. But your true love seems to be Jermaine Dupri. The way she talked about him, it seemed that she still had feelings for him. And I told you, did you notice under Jermaine Dupri's name, it said her fiance, not ex-fiance. Was that a typo? Maybe, maybe not. We shall see. Jasmine says she probably had an NDA. Probably. And also, you didn't see Issa on the documentary. That's probably part of their agreement not to share him in the documentary, which is okay. It's okay. We already seen a picture of Issa. I haven't seen a recent picture of Issa, though. That's all right. It's all right. We're private Tauruses. Look, I might be married for 10 years and y'all wouldn't know either. Why y'all need to know my business? Why are people saying that Janet is still legally married? No, she's not. She's divorced. Anyways, stop spreading fake news. Joking. Oh, Lord. It will be interesting. Janet has more life to live. So it would be interesting. This was a very good documentary. There's so much more she could have said. In part 2, we also, it was a lot of loss. We lost Michael. I rewatched that. More tears came second time watching that. I remember where I was when Michael died. But her talking about her brother, that was really sad. Because that's her brother. We celebrate Michael and the artistry and the music, but that was her brother. But before we even get to that, Lord have mercy, how did I forget this part? We talked about the creation of Scream, but we didn't talk about the music video. The legendary Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson Scream music video, we thought this was the union of a lifetime. We thought that this was an incredible moment for them as brother and sister. Part of me feels as if Michael Jackson's team, and maybe Michael Jackson as well, wanted to use Janet to help his image at the time. Because as you know, this is the time where he was facing all those allegations. And they thought, oh, this collaboration with your sister would be incredible for you because she was doing so well in her career. So sad to know that this, first of all, the video was supposed to be only 3 days, ended up being more days, so many days that she doesn't even remember how many days it was. It's still the most expensive video to ever made. Still, $7 million. She said it was supposed to be so much less. I'm thinking maybe around $1 million. And they try to keep them separated. They tried to make this a competitive situation. Janet in the documentary talks a lot about how the people around Michael started to really separate him from the family. At one point, they wanted Michael to do a tour with the brothers and she wanted to open for them. Michael was like, no. But during the Scream video shoot, she said she would film during the day, he would film at night. They wouldn't let her see him on set. And I'm just like, how do you let that happen? How do you allow your team to separate you from your family? But it happens, y'all. It happens more often than not because people start trusting the people that they see every day around them. Even in this documentary, Rebe said, in old footage that she hadn't seen her brother in like a year. And all of them are propping Michael up. We were talking about the whole Wendy Williams situation. And we said, production, do not prop Wendy Williams up and put her out there. But they were propping Michael up. We found out a lot. The doctor went to jail. That was, what was it? Profenol? I forgot what it was called. Trying to help him get some sleep. Very sad situation. Let me just say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. Life with Leah, Soul Sister. Thank you so much. if Justin comes out now that she spoke up, making things right, maybe we'll forgive him then, Justin. maybe we'll forgive you then, Justin. I don't think so. Exactly. Thank you so much for the super chat. Scream is my go-to karaoke song with my coworker Jag. We do the dance and everything. I need to see footage. If you have footage, text me at the text community. I have to see it. It was such a monumental video, but at the same time, now knowing the story behind it, it's sad. It should have been a big moment for them as brother and sister performing together. It was such a great song, but Janet has such bad memories for that video shoot and the people that were in Michael's life at the time. Tawanda said maybe we give Justin a burger at the cookout. I don't even know if he could come to the cookout anymore. Y'all took that away a long time ago. Guys, we have over 700 people watching our recap of the second part of the Janet Jackson documentary. Please just like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We appreciate you for watching, but we also appreciate if you share and if you like and if you subscribe, we love you even more. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. The road to 100,000 subscribers is right around the corner. And if you'd like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com. Yes. Boho says, Jimmy Jam was hilarious in this document. He's just hilarious in general. Ain't no chocolate chunk says, ain't no burger. Oh, Lord. Justin can't drive by the cookout. Damn. Justin, just stay away from anybody's cookout because they do not see it for you. Janet in this documentary really tried to help us move on from this situation. I think we've moved on, Janet, but it's forever to Justin. But like I said, can we start petitioning the Super Bowl to have Janet come and relive this moment? This year, obviously, it's not going to happen. But for next year, can we have Janet Jackson? Can we? I want to see it. To know that she ended that Super Bowl crying and running off the stage. No, we need her to be able to redo that moment. I want to see that. I want to see that. All right. So the other thing that happens in this documentary is that Janet loses her father, Joe Jackson. And like I said to you before, I feel like this documentary single-handedly changed the image, I think, at least for me it did, on how we viewed Joe Jackson and the iron fist that he had over his family. I think it's hard to be the father who has to bring in the money and be the voice of reason over a family, and to also be a manager in their careers. It's a hard balance. It's a hard balance. And you see that with René trying to balance that too. And that ended up not working. They also said, you know, when he was battling cancer, he was this stubborn man trying to battle the cancer too. He was a force. He was a force, and he was necessary for the Jacksons. No matter if you liked his methods of doing it, he was definitely a force. Guys, let's get to, where are we? Hold on one second. Let's get to 350 likes, and I will drop the call-in link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts on everything Janet Jackson, including the Jermaine Dupri situation. Do you think they should get back together? They were engaged, y'all. They were talking about having kids, but she was still living in LA. He was living in Atlanta, creeping and working all the time. It seems as if they're in still such a good place. It wouldn't shock me if Janet Jackson and Jermaine Dupri were dating undercover. Just saying. That's Janet. That's us Tauruses. K Baby says she doesn't need JD. She doesn't need him, but they seem to have a good rapport. That's the only relationship that seems to have ended in such an amicable way. I know we don't see it for JD, but he's older now. Maybe he's ready to settle down. Maybe he's ready to, you know, figure that part out in regards to his life. I don't know. Look, people say no, JD. All right. Oh, goodness. Courtney said, Kempire, are you romantic? That must be it. And I'm sure Janet probably had the same thought. What's JD's sign? Can someone look that up for me? What is his astrological sign? I want to know, because then that will be the deciding factor for me. Trina says Janet was with Q-Tip too. I don't know about all that because we have to remember during when they met, she was still with Renee. Patricia says, Kempire, I like you, but no. Okay. All right. All right. Damn. No to JD. Damn. You guys are woo. JD lost his chance. Wow. I believe he's a Libra. Ooh, it's like Libra week. Everyone's saying Libra. Well, according to Femme Tarot, she says I should go get with an air sign. So a Libra, Aquarius, definitely not a Gemini. Sorry, Geminis. Michelle says, I really enjoyed the documentary. Me too. Me too. JD is a Libra. Everyone's saying he's a Libra. That might work. That might work. Someone said he better not be a Leo. French Life says, I know he better not be a Leo. Damn. All right, guys, let me see. Yes, let's get to 350 likes and I'll drop the call and link so you guys can share your thoughts on the Janet Jackson documentary. Part 2. If you missed part 1 of the documentary, be sure to check that out on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel as well. Let me say, look, I love when we start talking astrological signs. Chris says, us Tauruses are very romantic and always hold out hope. I'm here agreeing with you, Kempire. See? Just saying. Just saying. Love Starla says she hooked up with Q-Tip during Velvet Rope. Y'all just keep spreading the rumors. I love it. I love it. Look, Lil Baby says, I love Janet and JD together. I'm not gonna say I love them together, but if she likes it, I love it. I'm just saying. They literally said under his name, Jermaine Dupri, Janet's fiance. They didn't say ex-fiance. They said fiance. Just saying. Dorothy says, leave us Geminis alone. We make the world go round. In a good way or a bad way? I'm joking. I love all the signs. I love all the signs. All right, let me drop the call on link because I do know that you guys have lots to say about this. If you haven't liked the video already, be sure to like the video. Let me just do this here. Let me do this here and here and here and there. There we go. All right. Let me remind you guys as well, don't forget to get your coldest water bottle. You can get it engraved. I love my coldest water bottle. It keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. With the discount code, you can get 10% off, KEMP10. More information is available in the description of this video. They come in multiple sizes, multiple colors, but they also have other types of products on their website. Head on over to coldest.com and get your coldest water bottle today. And thank you for supporting the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Oh, this is from earlier today. If you were live with me earlier today, it was hot in here too. This is still cold. But that's also a sign to me that I need to refill. All right, backstage is full. Okay, backstage, everyone. Be short and sweet and to the point. That's all I ask. Okay. Okay, let's bring up Danielle is here. Danielle, what's going on?
Hey there, happy Sunday.
Oh God, I forgot it's Sunday.
Okay, so you kind of touched on this, but I didn't realize this until after I watched part 2. Yesterday, we were concerned about why she didn't talk about Bobby Brown, and we were wondering if it was true or not. Now, after watching part 2, I realized she only discussed men who had some kind of relevancy in her life. So because she didn't mention the husband, she mentioned him, that she had a baby with him, but to your point, and it could be a non-disclosure thing. It could be that he didn't want to be mentioned, but she didn't even talk about falling in love with him, or she didn't talk about that. So I'm looking at it as though she mentioned, and I'm sure these aren't the only relationships that she's had. I think she mentioned the relationships that meant something to her, i.e. James. Then there was Renee. Then there was Jermaine. Then her son, who was going to grow up and be a man. And these were the men intricate in her life that she chose to talk about, because everyone else was, as Evelyn Lozada said, non-MF factor. That's how I took that. Okay. But I liked it. I'm with you. I need a part 3. We can do it like in another 5 years or so, or just keep me up to date. I'm with you again. I need the Vegas show. If she does a Vegas residency, I'm there.
I would definitely do that.
But I really enjoyed it. I have yesterday episode. A Friday night. I watched it 3 times. I'm getting ready to watch the part 2 again. I don't think I missed anything this time, but yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
And I'm
Curry
okay with
Jersey in the chat. Yeah, she did do Vegas before, Metamorphosis in Vegas in 2019, but we need her to come back.
we need her to come back. So Janet, if you hear us, your people listening, we need you to come do a residency in Vegas. We need you back in Vegas, a tour, whatever. We just need you to come back. And I'm okay with her getting with JD if he's matured to a space of, I didn't notice that, so now you're going to make me go back and notice ex-fiance or fiance. I'm definitely going to go back and look at that. But I'm totally okay with them getting back together because she's in a different space, he's in a different space. And to your point, it didn't seem like it was anything bitter because they kept chuckling about it. So I thought that was really cute. So there might be something there. You might be onto something.
Just saying. All right, Miss Danielle, thank you so much for calling in.
Bye.
Hi. There was something I thought I wanted to say. I can't remember. Oh, wait, let me stop the timer. Reset. Yes, I do have the timer down here, y'all. I will stop you and then cut you off. No, I'll be nice. I'll be nice. All right. Amy, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
So I'm fine. I've got to watch the second part, most of it this time. I did think the timeline was a little off. 'Cause remember I told you I saw Renee at the Velvet Rope in DC, the
Yes.
tour. So and then I was like, maybe I was tripping. So then I went back and looked up the album, and he co-wrote all of the songs.
Oh, yeah.
And,
He was actually getting credit this time around.
yeah, and then one of the things I totally forgot. This is like a fun fact. If you go back and watch Poetic Justice, remember the Hispanic guy in the postal room with Tupac in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
He was the one kind of going back and forth with them about how, like, black people eating cornbread and stuff like that. And I just thought that was fun and cute because I was like, yeah, he was in the movie too, but it's very minimal.
Yeah.
I did say when I was listening to it, when I was watching the whole documentary, the Justin Timberlake thing, I'm still mad because it was I'm still mad because he went to the Grammys knowing she was disinvited over something that happened between them two. That just shows, her fiance, Jermaine Dupri, and this is why I'm okay if they got back together. He actually stepped down because he was like, no, this is not right. What they're doing to her. This Negro showed up. So that's enough for me to never forgive you in regards to Janet. Like, I still listen to some of his records, but that's just like hella wrong. You don't show up and then be like, I'm so sorry. Because I remember him showing up and saying he was sorry. And I was just like, why are you there, friend? Like, you should not even be there. Negro, like, you know better than that. The thing with Janet and her brother, the video, that broke my heart because I really feel like Michael had a lot of people that just took advantage of him. Even when she was talking about the spending, she felt like they went over budget because of what people were telling Michael. And she couldn't even have a conversation with him because they were completely separated through the whole process of making that video. And that's kind of, for her at the time, not to say she didn't need it, but I think she uses the tool to kind of relate and get close to her brother. And what it did was cause more conflict and friction, and they didn't really have a good relationship as it was. And it seemed like it broke down even more. So that made me sad because I know how to deal with family like drama. The last thing I think that was pretty much it. I like the whole doc, I was like really excited to watch it because I had, once again, the memories started coming back in. I was in 6th grade. I ain't never had no money, but the money I got, I brought the Janet album. And that was a big deal when I was young. Like, you didn't just go spend your money on stuff like that. And that album was everything. Again, with the record that she had with the guy asking her, what's his name? I call him Shazza. I don't know his real name.
I know from Different World.
Yeah, but Shazza asked her.
Gary, I know his first name is Gary. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, she said he asked her, do you have a boyfriend? And she was like, he's right over top of us directing us. And that just, oh my God. I was like, that is some tea. And then her and Tupac, oh my God, if they were, that was even better. I was just like, I actually felt like it was chemistry watching it as a kid. But to hear that he really did really like her, but he said he did like her, right? And he said they were talking up until the day after taping. They did the premieres and stuff, and she changed her number.
Oh,
Literally, he said he was talking to her like friendly. They were cool and everything. And then right after they did the rap party and did the promo, he called and her number was changed. So maybe it was
nope.
some tea to
That
that.
sounds
But
about right for a Taurus. I'm about to change my number.
it sounds like Regina was right. Maybe Renee wasn't okay with the friendship, and he was like, "You
That's why I
gotta
said she
go. Get
was.
done with it."
I said she was spilling tea.
Yes, but the Tupac thing had me really. I went back and watched some Poetic Justice last night just to watch some of those scenes again, and I was like, that would have been cute.
Mm-mm-mm.
Other than that,
Mm-mm.
it was. I mean, most of the stuff we did know, but I think Michael and the sister video really bought. That really made me sad. And Justin, we will never forgive you. Get over it.
Uh-uh.
Just move on.
All right.
That-
All right,
That's
Amy.
about it.
I gotta go. But I
Okay, have a
appreciate you
nice one.
calling in. All right. Mocha, I'm gonna bring you up. What's going on, Mocha?
Hi, Kempire.
How are you?
Good, thanks. So I loved it. Like, it was just amazing to me because obviously I'm on the younger end of the spectrum, but I've gone back and I've looked into her discography and everything, and I just love all her work. Um,
Mm.
my favorite part is like, because um, sorry, when Tyler Perry was like, you know, F people, this is a nip. Like,
Hmm.
I'm like, exactly, because like that's how I felt when I watched it. And I was like, I remember hearing it and I was in grade 10. And I was like, yeah, it is. That's all it is. Like, why is it? And even over the years, I always felt like, why was it such a big deal? You know, like,
Yeah.
it. There has been so many malfunctions in history with fashion. Why was it her that caught the onslaught of it? And like just hearing how she recovered from everything and what she went through, because like I always kind of connected with her. So yeah, I really liked it, and I liked hearing not her whole life, but just bits and pieces that connected to her music and that. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Mocha, for calling
Thank
in.
you. Bye.
All right, guys, if you're just joining us, of course, we are taking callers, recapping and talking about the Janet Jackson documentary part 2. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know how you thought, what you thought of part 1 and part 2, and what moments stood out to you. Do you forgive JD for cheating on Janet? Do you forgive JT for throwing Janet under the bus? Miss Janaea, I'm going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Janaea?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I love this documentary. I don't know why, certain celebrities, well, me growing up, I feel like, oh, they're my cousins, like a distant family member that you always, well, as far as the Jacksons are concerned, they're always a topic at Thanksgiving. Don't bring up the Jacksons, don't say anything bad about them, or we'll be talking about it until the snow falls. But I love the documentary. I think it was perfectly done. I wouldn't change a thing aside from more, more of it. Um, Joe Jackson, I never chastise him as everyone did. That man had 9 children and did not walk away and did what he could to raise all those boys. And for the most part, they all turned out okay or better than okay. So I feel that we've always judged him by today's standards when that's not when he was raising them. He was raising them in a time where Black men did not fare well at all. So I really feel like he deserves more flowers than he was given and should have been given. JD, let that go. If she still wants to mess with him, okay, but don't give him the satisfaction of marrying him. Justin, I never understood how she took the blame, but he was the one that ripped her shirt. It wasn't like she undressed herself. He ripped it. So what
During
was
his song.
exactly? It was his song. He put his hand on her and ripped it, but it's her fault for being exposed by him. And I think regardless of what Janet told him, he should have been a man. He did the coward thing. And oh, I'm just a young kid. You were a man dancing with her like a man. You should have took the responsibility and said, no, that was my fault. Didn't matter what she said. He should have stood up and said, no, that was my fault. I shouldn't have ripped it. And that I'll just never understand.
Yeah.
But the one thing I wrote in the chat, did you see when Chris Rock made mention of Janet and JD getting together, that he said that when did this happen? Them two getting together was like me finding out that I missed the sale of Benzes one day. If JD can get Janet, how the heck did I miss that? I thought that was the funniest thing because they are an odd couple.
I mean, they were, but it seems to be what worked.
I don't get it. Like I said before, I'd have to tilt my head, squint, and just, okay, Janet, whatever you like. She can get whatever she wants. So, if she had an appetite for Bobby, I guess JD can't be too far from it.
Allegedly. I think we might have to recap that Bobby Brown documentary that's supposed to be coming to A&E very soon, but stay tuned. Janaea, thank you so much for calling in.
Sure. Have a good day.
You too. Happy Sunday, y'all. We have a long line backstage. So callers, please be brief. Please be brief, because I'm trying to get to everyone. Or I can just cut off after a certain amount of time. Okay, look, we're trying to get to everyone. Georgia's backstage. Miss Georgia. Georgia. What's going on?
Hey, friend.
How are you?
I am good. How are you, love?
Sunday.
Okay.
Look, and hungry.
Listen, I'm on the board of Black Twitter. So on behalf of Black Twitter, we will never forgive Justin. Anything that he says or does is too little, too late. That is the end. Second of all, I'm just...
Uh-oh. You froze. Was that Justin?
Her and JD may have been a strange couple. I mean, I believe it too. But that's the only person we ever wanted her to get back with. Notice after her and the husband broke up, we all was like, where's Jermaine? And mind you, I wouldn't, knowing the history of this family, I would have never seen her with the original JD, James DeBarge, either. Just saying. Now, when it comes to Michael and Janet, I feel that video story was heartbreaking, especially knowing that around that time, Michael was trying to like hire a lot of the people who she was working with, like her directors and all of that stuff. I can't remember if it was Jimmy Jam or Terry Lewis that said that he tried to hire them to work on, I think it was the Dangerous album, and they refused to work with him because of their loyalty to Janet. So I believe that there is something to his team trying to use her to help his career at the time, because at this point she had matched and superseded the things that he was doing, especially with all of the allegations and stuff coming in at the same time, on top of the career stuff that he was going through with his album starting to... Anyway, but there's so many more documentaries that she could make. Fingers crossed that we get something. I feel like the next time we're gonna get something from her is when her son graduates college. But I'll be waiting because she ain't missed a step. I would be waiting because she hasn't missed a step since she met Paula Abdul. So I'll be on tour when she's 80.
I want behind the scenes of the making of some of those albums. I think there's some more lost footage that we need.
I need it.
I
need it in my life.
Georgia, we appreciate you calling in as always.
Thanks,
I had no idea you were on the board of Black Twitter. Note
you look at me. You should know.
Goodbye.
Love you.
All right, Miss Bernice is backstage. We're going to bring Miss Bernice up in just a second. I do want to say thank you to Cephas for the super chat. Cephas says it seems like skip over the 20Y. Oh, right. Respect for 20YO in the discipline era. Also, her comeback in 15 Unbreakable. They should have shown news clips of how nasty anchors were talking. I just think there was just so much. I had no idea that there could be so much, but Janet has been in this business since she was a baby. She was born into this stuff. So there's just so much. But yeah, Discipline was a great album. So they did play a couple of, they played Love from Discipline though. I love that song. And what was the other song that you said? Oh, damn it. I can't remember. Oh, 20YO. Come on. But that was the album that JD produced. So. And it wasn't marketably, successful. All right, Miss Bernice, we're going to bring you up. What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Hey, Kempire. Hey, my baby George is in the audience. Hello, baby. How you doing? Um, being I'm old school, and Janet was born in '66, and I was born in '65. I have watched Janet grow from before Penny to the woman she is now, and I appreciate the documentary being honest and her being able to tell her story the way that she wanted to tell her story. She was in total control. Justin, it's Sunday, so I can't say what I want to say about Justin.
It's Sunday.
But Justin, from your first reaction when it happened, you dropped the ball, and because you dropped the ball, we're not gonna forgive you. And I'm sorry. I invite Luke Bryan to the cookout before I invite Justice.
Not Luke Bryan.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, before I invite Justin. Okay. He can't get a go-to play. He can't get nothing. He can't lick the spoon. Hell to the no.
Okay, Miss Bernice.
Because I looked at the Hulu documentary they did on Janet and the Super Bowl. That one is more in depth in way how nasty the public was toward Janet. How they blamed her for everything. Excuse me. Once he pulled it, all they had to do was click a button and the screen would go to black. Y'all didn't do that. Okay? And then the head of CBS, man, if you're not gonna sit your old butt down, he wanted Janet to cow down and break down and apologize to him. Janet owes you no apology.
Miss Bernice, we appreciate you calling in and reading them for Phil.
No problem. But I will give that part about the scream that hurt my heart because Michael wasn't acting like a brother, and his team was making sure he wasn't acting like a brother, and that's not what Joe taught them how to treat each other. Yeah. But
Thank you, Miss Bernice, for calling
other than that, y'all have a good Sunday.
You too.
And I want the youngsters who are coming up in the business to look at her documentary and see if you do it right, you will have a successful career.
Most definitely. Miss Bernice, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Woo! All right. We're going to take some more callers, guys. Again, we have a long line backstage, so please be brief. We could talk about Janet all day. I know we could, but let's wait till we get some new music. I think we're going to get new music very, very soon from Janet. But we will continue the conversation in the comment section as well. So shout out to the replay crew. I want to know your thoughts. Go in as much as you want. I will be reading the comments. All right. Don't go in on me, though. I mean, you can. I'm just not going to care. Jessica, I'm going to bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Jessica?
Hi, Kempire. So my mom and I watched both part 1 and 2 at the same time, and we literally had a heartfelt conversation just about Janet's career because to piggyback off of Miss Bernice, my mom is a year older than Janet, and my mom played Janet to me, and so I grew up with her, and we just were like blown away, just her being completely honest of the racism, everything she went through, and I want a part 3. Seriously.
Okay.
I want a part 3, want new music, and I will love Janet and Michael forever. That's it. I gotta go.
Bye, Jessica. A best. Let me just say thank you, Danielle. Thank you so much for the super chat. She said, "I love the collab of Janet with Heavy D. Rest in peace, Heavy D." Which reminds me, I also loved her collaboration with Luther Vandross. Rest in peace to Luther Vandross. That's one of my favorite songs. Matter of fact, after this, I gotta go play it. I love that song. Love that song. So yeah, she's collaborated with some really, really, really incredible people. All right, Curvy Jersey. I'm gonna bring you up for a quick comment. What's going on, Curvy Jersey?
Hi, Kempire. So real quick, where's Latoya? Justin apologized to Brittany and Janet a year or so ago. Is his manager Johnny right?
Curvy Jersey, I don't hear you. Oh, okay. She'll call back. She'll call back. I don't know what happened. She was about to go in. Johnny Wright put a muzzle on her. Oh my Lord. All right, Miss Brooklyn, what's going on?
Hey Cam, hey crew, how y'all doing? I think that there's a couple of things in the chat where people are saying that Lifetime and A&E did this wrong. We got to remember that Janet and Randy made this documentary. This was their story. She told what she wanted to tell. She put out there what she wanted. So the stuff that's not discussed are the things that her and Randy went over and said, nah, we not going there. She's still married. The divorce is not final. It's $1 billion fight. So they're going to be fighting for a long time. I think it's looking like she gets like half a bill. So yeah, they're still in court fighting over that. One of the things, and it comes out to like the things they didn't discuss. The mess up with that marriage was that the culture shock and also the controlling, because if I remember correctly, when that whole thing fell apart, Randy had to go get her and get her away from him. So that also tells you a lot about the relationship between her and Randy. Her and Randy stayed tight and strong. And if you look at a lot of the footage that she did show from the Mike situation, it was always her and Randy in the court by Mike's side. Yeah, Jermaine was the one sitting up on the television, greasing everybody's screen up with his sweaty self, but it was Randy and Janet that were actually sitting in the court, sitting by Mike and by his side. And as for where the rest of the brothers and everything are, you have to also remember there's a large age gap between them. When you think about it, Rebe is the oldest and she's 70 something and Janet's 55. There's a huge age gap. So she, the rest aren't really probably in her life. And it's also key, if you look at it, Randy lives in London. He don't live in the States. So you can see that there's kind of a split between the family. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to just really quickly say, because a lot of people were going in on Joe Jackson yesterday and calling him abusive and a monster and everything. People have to remember, you can't look at the way children were raised back then through the eyes of how we would raise our children today. You have to look at what was going on in the era in which that man was raising his kids. He was trying to make sure his kids weren't low-hanging fruit from a tree. Okay, so yeah, he was harsh, but we all grew up with that harshness because there was no trust to be found in the streets when you was a young Black child back then. Look at Emmett Till. Look at how many young Black men were hung from trees, were lynched. Look at the human rights era and all those marches. It's real easy for us to sit in our generation and look at the generation before us and tell them everything that they did was wrong. And we think we're sitting here doing everything perfect. Just remember, a generation from now, they're going to be looking back at us, telling us everything that we did was wrong. So you have to look at how things are going in the context in which those things are happening. Joe was a harsh father, but if you looked back then, you had to have harsh fathers because, and I know this gets off on a tangent, but it just bothers me so much about this. After that generation, when they told us to stop beating our kids and it's abuse and all that came out, because that wasn't going to white folks, that was going to Black folks. Black folks were the one who were whooping their kids and all that. That's when they took the Black man out the family. That's when they gave you welfare and told the Black woman that she couldn't have a man in the house and receive public assistance. That's when they flooded our communities with drugs and everything. They did everything they could to get that strong Black man that was holding that family together out of that family, out of that household. So you really, really need to do your history and your searching before you really kind of come down on Joe. He was a harsh man. Yes, he was. And they all admit it, but they all love and respect their father to this day. So that should tell you something about how he raised them.
Yeah.
And the whole Scream thing, that was saddening. It's hard to look and see that people came in between a brother and a sister, and just between a family. They separated Mike from his entire family. And that's just really, really sad. And you have to wonder, if his family was still able to be around him, would he still be around today?
Mm.
And that's it.
Won't never know. But we appreciate you, Miss Brooklyn, calling in.
See ya.
Bye. All right, Vanessa, I'm going to bring you up, then Adrian, then Jerry, then Donna. But let's be quick, y'all, because I have not eaten. Just a reminder, it is Sunday evening. And I have no idea what I'm going to eat, but we will get there. We will get there. All right. Vanessa, what's going on? Vanessa, are you there? I can't hear you. Vanessa?
Can you hear me now?
No, it sounds very muffled.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have headphones on?
Okay, well, really quick.
Vanessa, I have to drop you out because if I can barely hear you, the audience is not going to hear you. If anything, try to call back in. If you have headphones on, please take them off because they just don't work well with StreamYard. Let me just say thank you to TS. Thank you so much for the super chat. Do you think Renee ever loved Janet, or was he just an opportunist? Well, apparently she doesn't know either, because she says at the end of their relationship, she was wondering too. She was wondering if there was anything real in their relationship. I don't think so. I don't think that he was just an opportunist, to be honest with you. To spend that amount of time with someone, I just don't see it being, he's been an opportunist for how many years? Look, we're Tauruses. We're not dumb. Look, we're Tauruses. We're not dumb. She would have sensed that a long time ago. I don't think that he was just being an opportunist. I think by the end of it, the love wasn't there. He just saw her as a commodity, just as a the romance in the relationship was gone. But I don't think that was the entire situation. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, let's try and bring Adrian up. I see, Adrian, you look like you have some issues backstage. What's going on, Adrian?
Hey, love. Yeah, I just had to refresh my page. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll try to be quick so you can go eat. I didn't call in yesterday for the first half, but I did want to touch on the thing about Black fathers. I felt like Janet was driving home the point. I think she was almost trying to change that narrative about Joe being abusive. She was trying to drive home the point that it was, because they didn't actually say abuse. They didn't actually say, oh, no, he never hit us. But what she did say was, yes, he was tough. And her and Randy said, when Joe said something, you just did it. And I know a lot of Black people that grew up like that. There wasn't no back talk. When whoever, the matriarch, patriarch of that family, whatever they say goes. And that just is what it is. But I do appreciate the fact that they talked about what was going on in Gary, Indiana, all of the gangs, all of the murders, and you're raising these kids in his 60s. So yeah, he's trying to keep his kids on a straight and narrow path. But I feel like this is in line with like the Richard Williams, like Venus and Serena's father. Matthew, there's no Beyonce without Matthew. There's no Janet without Joe. Like these Black fathers are important, right? Look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods would not have been who he was had it not been for that Black father. So I could appreciate the fact that they were putting that like, no, these Black fathers are important to our success. They just are, right? The only thing I just found it very interesting, but she did say, she wanted to get out from under him and control and all that kind of stuff. But some of what Renee was doing almost really seem a little controlling. And then he had, was revealed his issue with the painkillers or whatnot. And that was just interesting to see that kind of fall apart and him end up kind of controlling her. Like that was just kind of weird to see where that went. In terms of Justin, so Lil Justin is a coward to me. I think I understand what Janet was trying to say, because she even told him, hey, don't say anything, whatever. But this is a problem. You constantly see this particular artist, riding off the backs of a woman. We see what he did to Britney, and even though what he did with Britney, they were a lot younger, but it's just like, dang, you kind of threw her under the bus. Now you kind of let Janet, like, this is kind of looking real problematic. Then on top of that, you have the criticisms of what he's taken, or kind of tried to call himself borrowing from Black music and Black artists. So it kind of compounds, and it's like, nah, bro, you can't come to the cookout. This cookout, the one next year, no, I don't want to see you. You're not invited. And because remember that one Super Bowl they did where they lit up everything, and he was supposed to, right after Prince died, and
Yes.
Prince didn't even like him because Justin was doing it. Remember, had that song, "I'm Bringing Sexy Back."
Mm-hmm.
Prince said Sexy ain't never left. So Justin always kind of been slick at the mouth, when he dealing with kind of Black artists and Black music. So I ain't really been feeling him for a while. But the whole Les Moonves thing was really interesting because not only did he try to destroy her, they said that the FCC fined CBS $27,000 per station.
Yeah.
That's per city. Like CBS New York, CBS LA, CBS Miami, every single city where there's a CBS, they got fined. So it ended up charging them millions of dollars. But I think somebody made this point earlier. He just wanted her to bow down. He wanted her to bow down and grovel. And when she didn't do that, he set out on this path to destroy her. She actually had a book. I don't know if they own Simon and Schuster or Penguin or one of those really large publishing houses. She wrote a book, and he went on a rampage when he found out, because I remember they said that he was like, how in the hell did that get through? Because he had the directive, like anything about her was to be tarred and feathered. So he was actually angry that her book went through, because he was on a rampage to destroy her. But in terms of JD, I hope they get back together. I don't know if he was somebody, but she looked like the happiest with him. All the pictures of them, she's like beaming. She looked like like young love when she was with him. She looked like she was just over the moon. And people say it's an odd couple and he's all little and everything, whatever. But she seemed like she was over the moon with him, and she looked really, really happy.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Michael T, my last point, that's really, really sad. When she said that they always just sit and talk. And then the one time that she realized that their relationship was changing, he walked in her room and just sat in the bed, just looked at her. They just looked at each other, and he just walked out. And I feel like what she was trying to say, that was the beginning of his superstardom, going to a level that nobody had ever seen before. He was going somewhere else. He was about to get shot into. We've never seen a star like that. We've never seen anybody even close to that. But more importantly, in terms of what happened with the Scream thing, like, think about it. We've never seen a musical family with two stars like that on that level. Like, Solange never got to the Beyonce level.
Yeah.
Jamie Lynn never got to Britney Spears level. So we've seen musical families. Exactly. We've seen musical siblings, but I don't think we've ever seen it on that level. Right. No. So when you have when she was talking about the two record companies kind of, playing petty and whatnot, that was just really interesting. Because that's one art, their brother and sister, but the company is looking at, okay, this is my artist, that's your artist. And I just, unfortunately, them same handlers, like if she's talking about they went to his house, she's like, yo, this is not my family. This ain't what we do. This is not what we do. Unfortunately, and I think that was Michael that put that out about his dad. Before that movie came out, I think it was like an old Oprah interview or something. He kept talking about how scared he was of his father. That was Michael that put that out there, that he was so scared and Joe was so hard or whatever. That's why people had that narrative. But when she was kind of coming, I said, no, this is not who we are. These people, whoever putting that in your ear, whatever, that's not us. And unfortunately, later on, before he passed, Michael did kind of come out and say that them same handlers were probably going to be responsible for his death. And the family came out and said that they always believe that. So it's just really sad to see that. And when she talked about it, you could see the pain on her face. She looks like she's still very pained about that.
Yeah.
And that was really hard. But I love you, babe. Love you, babe.
I appreciate you. All right, guys, look. Because of that, now I got to cut off. No, I'm not taking the other call. And I'm joking. I'm going to take the other calls, but calls, you have to be quick. You have to be quick. Jerry, what's your quick comment?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello to everyone. Briefly, it's so funny how people in the US are critical of Joe's parenting skills, where here in the Caribbean, every father harsh. We have a saying here where those who don't hear this feel. Now, you know what I wish was in this documentary? I wish she showed the impact of her media blacklisting and the ways the public can give her success back in a way. I'm a numbers and statistics guy, so yes, the documentary is watched and she is loved. Now that the hype is on her, it is detrimental that the public stream and buy her music because the worldwide backlisting had a huge effect on her albums after 2004. That was supposed to be huge. She, in my opinion, is the only artist in history who deserves payola, and it would be right. She was she was blacklisted from 90% of the world media, aka Viacom. And let me remind you, has sold around the 200 million records threshold, along with Mariah Celine, you know them, aka part of the top 5 best-selling female artists, right? Justin, 2004 present, got 19 top 10s and 5 number ones. 2004 present, Janet only got 1 top 20, and that was Feedback. If the Super Bowl didn't happen, she would have outsold and surpassed Madonna's record, who is the best-selling female artist of all time, who has 12 number ones and 38 top 10s, which is the most for a female. That's all I have to say. You go and eat.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry. Everyone's loving Jerry's accent. Yes, I can almost. Jerry, can we just ask you a quick question? Jerry, you're from Trinidad?
Yes. Yes.
Of course. Thank you so much for calling in. Oh, yeah. I know a Trini accent when I hear one. It's so true. You know, one of the things that I did want to mention too, with this documentary, Janet's music has been topping the iTunes charts. So keep listening to her music, keep reflecting back on the music, and keep supporting. And let's get that ball rolling for her to do the Super Bowl again. Look, it's not that we want to do the Super Bowl again. No, we just want her to have that opportunity because we know what the Super Bowl does for music, for the artist that's performing. And I don't want to see, it's no co-headlining. Yes, Janet can choose who she wants to, do a little guest spot, but it needs to be just Janet Jackson. And I want to see that happen again. I want to see her music be catapulted. And I want to hear the new music. That little snippet that we got at the end of the documentary sounded good. And she did it with Harmony Samuels. I interviewed Harmony back in the day, before he was really, really big. Harmony Samuels, he's produced a lot of really great music. I actually really like that song. All right, Donna, you're going to be the last caller. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the Janet Jackson documentary part 2. If you enjoyed it as much as we did, or you have some criticism, we enjoy everyone's opinion. Let me know in the comment section. If you haven't liked the video already, why are you waiting? You've been here for over almost an hour and a half. Like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Donna, what's going on?
Hi, happy Sunday. Blessings to you and everyone. I'm going to be really quick, and it's a blessing that I'm the last one because I'm about to say something that may not be popular. First and foremost, Janet and Jermaine Dupri are together right now. I don't know what people know or not, but even when this happened, the Super Bowl thing, Janet had a piercing. And a lot of people I don't know if people remember that, and they were all like, oh my goodness, because we look at her so pure. And I said, Janet and Jermaine love each other. People talk about their looks, but Jermaine let her be the freak she is. Her business isn't in the street. They love each other. They're together now, but it's undercover, and it's her business if she never tells it. Second of all, today's corporal punishment abuse was previous generations' discipline. I know a Trini accent when I hear it too. So like you said, no, everybody judges Joe now. But she kept saying how grateful and blessed that she was. That's all I kind of wanted to say was that they were they're still together. Janet got y'all fooled.
She didn't got us fooled.
Jermaine let Janet before there was Candy's dungeon. I'm just saying for some people from the ATL, Jermaine, she had her own dungeon in his house. But anyways, have a wonderful Sunday. Y'all keep hoping they get together. While some already know they are together. Bless their happiness and have a good week.
You too, Donna. Thank you so much for calling in. I can't. Look, for those, shout out to my Tauruses. People think that, because we don't put it outwardly, Janet decided to put it in her music and then be a little bit more outwardly with her sexiness. Look, have you ever been with a Taurus? Just saying. Look, Tauruses know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. All right. Thank you so much, High Vibe, for the super chat. Love the doc. One thing that stood out was the amount of profound sadness Janet has experienced. She seemed isolated and searching for love. Yeah, I think that's one of the big things that we got from the documentary, that she's been through a lot. TS, thank you so much for the super chat. Why would René be so obsessed with filming everything if he didn't think that the footage would make him make some money one day? I don't know if that's necessarily true. And maybe because I know people that do the type of work that René does, I don't think it's necessarily that. It could be because he really wanted to be. If you're an artist in that realm of field, you do want to document those things, not necessarily for the money, but so that you have this moment that's happening. And thank God that we got that moment. Ray says, yes, Taurus here. I know what you're saying. All right. Oh, I mean, there were some moments that René, he just was too much. He was too much. He was filming everything. Tina Landon was just like, okay, René, stop it. Stop filming us. I think he did get obsessive. Was it because of the addiction issue? Maybe. We don't know. But I don't think necessarily he was an opportunist. I wasn't there. And like I said, they were together such a long time, even before they got married. So they're not together anymore. It is what it is. Courtney says, René's a voyeur. I like watching people too. Like from afar. Like I like to people watch, go in the city on a nice day and just be like, Look, I mean, technically what I do is like people watching, celebrity watching. Guys, if you missed this recap and you're watching the replay, I want to know your thoughts on the part 2. Technically, though, this was all broken up in 4 parts. It was broken up in 4 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. We watched last night, part 3 and 4. Okay. So I thought it was excellently done. I like the conversations that we're having about generational history and what the Jacksons mean for our culture, for pop culture, for Black culture, and what their legacy will continue to mean. And the celebration of what they've given us as artists. Let's continue the conversation below. I want to say thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to, of course, our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. Thank you to our moderators. Don't forget to show some love to the moderators. And thank you all for being here and for watching. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, we will be live again tomorrow for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap. So stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everyone that was watching on multiple platforms, including my TikTok. I appreciate you all still being here, even though I didn't get a chance to look what you guys are saying, but we will have our own little conversation after the live. And don't forget, I will be going live on my TikTok to do some 90 Day Fiance watching. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for being here. Let's get out of here with some music. Have a great evening, y'all. I'll see you guys later. not over.